TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tiger talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tiger talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tiger.
Go Tigers, go Tigers.
You're now listening to Tough Tiger Talk with Big Q and the guys on the Pro Media Network.
What's going on, Tough Tiger Talk family? We in the building. Very, very excellent win. It was exciting, man. Kind of disappointing in stretches with LSU, but we got the win against the number 20th ranked Florida Gators in Death Valley. They go down and we go up. Very exciting, man. I thought we was going to blow them out at one point, but we just couldn't hold the fort. 49-42 was the final on this one out of LSU. 49-42. LSU wins the game behind a magnificent performance. Can't say nothing more about that, but a fantastic and magnificent performance from, I call the man TD Price, man, because you can go ahead on and put, you can straight cash. You can put him in the bank and he's going to pay out for you every time. They got to get the man the ball. And he showed today that he really got what it takes, man, and they relied on him heavily as he broke the single-season rushing record for LSU. They had 287 yards with 3 touchdowns on 36 carries. TD Price tore it up for him, man, and it was and congratulations to that brother in doing that, because this was a win that we really needed. We really needed this win, man. We were stumbling and bumbling on a 2-game losing streak, and we needed this win. We come out with a good win. Of course, it wasn't perfect, and there was a lot of stuff going on. You're dealing with a lot of injuries and stuff like that. The injury window about Coach Coach O's job. But we'll see exactly how that all folds. We're going to get old Coach O tuned up right here momentarily, and he's going to tell you exactly what his thoughts on after the win. But it was a good win for LSU. They really needed that. Ole Miss is next coming up here, so we're going to see what we need to do. But tough stretch. Probably this is the toughest stretch of games on the season for the Tigers, and we were able to get a win against the number 20th ranked Florida Gators. Anytime you beat Florida, I'm happy. I'm very happy. We can topple Florida and stick it to them a couple of times. So without further ado, let's listen to what Coach O had to say after LSU was able to get the win, baby. Here's Coach O.
All right, guys, what a great win for our team. I thought our guys practiced well all week. Andre Anthony gave them a pep talk on Monday. These guys all week, I felt like they were going to play very well. We knew it was going to be a battle. They came to fight today. And that's our motto. We're going to fight. We're going to fight the rest of the season, one day at a time, one game at a time. And they did a tremendous job. Showed us some maturity of our football players. To see us run for 321 yards. Wow. Physicality, running the football, staying committed to it. Ty Davis-Price had 240-something yards. 287 yards rushing. Wow. And then we held them to half the yards rushing. I think on defense, you look at Glenn Logan coming back. That really helped us out. I thought Neil Farrell probably played his best game. With +4 in the turnover margin, those interceptions were key for us in the ball game. We still gave up, the play right before half. Still gave up some plays that we shouldn't have. There's something that we're going to have to get fixed next week for Ole Miss. But overall, I'm just happy for our team. I think our team that went through a lot this week, and for them to beat Florida, we understand Florida was a rivalry. We want to represent all the players and everybody that played before us, and I think they did a good job of it. Any questions?
Is it me?
Yes.
Okay, Coach, mine's kind of specific. Probably shouldn't be the first one. Was that something new, or was I seeing things, or did you have 3 tackles on the offensive line a lot?
Yeah, Yeah.
What brought that about?
Yeah, with Keyshawn getting hurt, I give the offense some credit. We moved Dellinger to tight end. We had a jumbo package. We called it 12 jumbo, and it really helped us out. We got more physical during the game, and it helped our run game out. Yeah, that was something you had never done before this season.
Yeah, and with the running game, I mean, y'all
need to do that more
with that last week. But was there something over the last few weeks that really showed you that a performance like this was coming?
I felt that our offensive line had made. I told them they're the most improved group of all the team. I kept on showing things that them dominating in practice. I showed them again this week. You can see the stuff that Coach Davis is teaching them coming through. I thought Ty Davis-Price had ran with some confidence the week before. We ran a counter gap play is what we ran most of the time. They were in bear defense, and our guys blocked it well, and we made some big plays.
Hey, Coach, DeMarcus Fitzpatrick with KATC. Just how good does it feel to be able to mash a team and run the football and essentially just run it at will when you want to?
It was fun. I enjoyed it. But I enjoyed seeing Ty Davis-Price and the offensive line. I enjoyed them getting to see the work that they've done, see the work that the coach has done, finally paying off for them.
Yeah, hey, Coach. I mean, those timely, interceptions there in the first half
Yeah.
and the second half as well. Just talk about how much winning that turnover battle played into this game, and obviously set you guys up in some great field position.
Yeah, +4. We're almost 90% victory when we're +4, and we preach that to the team all the time. We had some key turnovers against them last year, interceptions. So DBs work hard. They were challenged today. They've got a very good scheme. They got some very good players, but they answered the call, but get some key interceptions at a key time for us.
That's true. I mean, the defense, from an interception perspective, stepped up big time with both of the top cornerbacks out in Stingley and Ricks. And, of course, we're missing some defensive personnel in there, but that's really not an excuse. We all know in college football as well as the pros that depth is important, next man up mentality. So, I mean, we got to give credit to what's credit due because LSU really tore, they gave up. It was like a curse and a blessing, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You got guys in there. They'll make plays, and then, of course, they'll give up plays like the ridiculous play when they kind of let the guy catch the halftime ball. So, that was kind of ridiculous. But at the same time, it's a give and take. But you're showing that they do have the talent to compete to, and stay in the game. It just, at times, man, it's that focus a bit. So, I mean, it's going to take a little bit here. We already in the season. And I'm thinking for the most part is that this team is showing you their identity. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they can't get any better from this point forward, but over the next 2 games, they got the next 3 games actually is very difficult people that we got to come up with, including Alabama. So we just gonna have to handle business. All right, let's go on to our final interview. And this is TD Price, man. We're gonna get his brother some shine on the show. He broke the single game rushing record, which was held by Leonard Fournette. He took that down, and you got to give him some airtime when he does that. Here is TD Price talking about his record-setting performance.
Hey guys, Scott Rockaway from The Advocate. Are you tired, or could you run for another couple hundred yards a day? And also, I'm sure you know by now you have the school record. What does it mean after the struggles y'all had with the running game to set a mark like that today?
Yes, sir. Coach Peetz and the staff, they challenged us the last few weeks. They challenged us to go in and create a running game. And the O-line, man, they've been coming with it every day at practice, just busting their tails, doing extra work. I can't be more proud of them, and I just can't wait to do something for them.
Yeah, Ty, sort of there in the fourth quarter, right before you broke the record, you're standing there in the middle of the field, waving your arms up in the air, about to seal the game. What's just going through your mind in that moment?
Man, to finish the game, to win the game. That's all was on my mind at the time, and I didn't know how many yards I had to after the game, and I was just amazed at how good the line did. If you can see, those were big holes that I ran through. So shout out to them, and shout out to them for going out each and every day working hard. And, yeah, it was a great win for the team.
Hey, Ty, so you credit your O-line a lot for opening those holes for you to run through. How would you describe their progression as an O-line and also your progression as a player and as a running back, being able to start the season the team barely running the ball, and now you're breaking school records for rushing yards?
Mr. Jack Marucci, he had a lot to do with that also. He works with a lot of science stuff for us, and he went up to the coaches, just showing them like a few of our formations and like just like telling them like what runs would be best for certain people, and just like creating like better blocking schemes for the line. And as you can see, it worked. So it was just a team effort.
Yeah, that was big right there when we talk about Coach Minucci. And this is the thing that, and you heard the report asked Coach Payton about Coach O about the extra block. I'm thinking Saints football right now. It's Sunday after all. But could this be a thing? Of course, Florida could not stop it, man. I mean, they would just competitively, resistantly running the play, whether it's to the right or left or inside. They could not stop them. And they just literally ran away with the contest. And the credit, not go over the team statistics momentarily, but it wasn't a perfect win, but it was a gutty win in which this young Tiger team was able to accrue. So let's hope that this adds to the confidence and open up some more positive thought processes in how to move the ball from an offensive perspective, because the running game is pivotal. We needed the running game. Without the running game in this matchup, we would have lost this game. If we'd have still had this type of effort as a running perspective in several previous contests, we would have won those games. So that's hopefully this is a thing that we can keep doing here to open up and having more offensive imagination to help them move the ball. So we'll see. But let's finish up with TD Price, and then we'll get into the team statistics.
I mean, when the success didn't come earlier this year, and people were criticizing, I guess, how did you personally kind of handle a lot of the criticism going against you?
Man, I just took it one day at a time and just worked my tail off each day. That's all I could do, and just do the best for my team. And I believe in God, and I prayed to God before the game, and I had no idea He was going to allow me to do that. But I thank Him, and I thank Him for allowing us to come away with this W.
Tyrion, you and your high school teammate there, Damone Clark, you were both on that 2019 national championship team. You've had your ups and downs today. What was it like for the two of you to kind of show out today and be heroes in this game?
Man, it means a lot just to know that me and him been knowing each other since 2005 and been doing that with each other on every team we played together, whether it's middle school, high school, and now college. And I can't wait to hang out.
All right, sorry, fam. Had a mic issue right there. All right, here we go. So there we go. Anyway, damn, that was pretty much a long time there. All right, so pretty much what happens here, fam. Max Johnson, 14-24 for 133, 3 touchdowns. TD Price, 36 carries for 287, 8.0 average running the ball on 3 touchdowns there. For them, they did a really good job. And, of course, Jahray Jenkins, 4 catches for 50 yards, 3 touchdowns. Malik Neighbors is next in line, 3 for 36 on the day. And, of course, Damone Clark led the defense with tackles, 11 tackles from him, 7 of which were solo. Cameron Lewis had 9 tackles as well. As you could tell, B.J. Ojolari also with 9 tackles. 2 sacks by the defense, which was Mason Smith and Ojolari. And then, of course, you look at the interceptions, 4 interceptions, McLaughlin, Bakersfield, Jay Ward, Damone Clark, all with interceptions. McLaughlin was able to take his back 37 yards for a touchdown, a pick 6 that helped LSU score. And, of course, if you look at what the Tigers was able to do from an offensive perspective, running the football really helps. It really helped them in this matchup. And without the running game, LSU would have not been able to beat this team. So the defense played well in parts, not consistently. They were able to get the interception. They had 2 sacks on the day. They were able to make Emory Jones uncomfortable enough for him to be throwing interceptions. He threw the pick 6. They pulled him out, put Richardson in, and when Richardson came into the game, he gave him a different level. A big physical quarterback that made some throws and was able to run it. You would have to defend him throwing and running, as he was the top rusher. He had 7 carries for 37 yards in the score. So the defense had to make an adjustment to Richardson, and really it took several drives, if you want to look at it that way, before they were able to kind of figure Richardson out as he started throwing those interceptions. And the crucial one came on the back end of the game when the LSU was able to put some pressure on him, and then he threw it up there, and we made the pick to kind of seal the game. So, it was a good win insofar as we needed a win. A lot of pressure was on Coach O to get this win, to get a win against Florida, number 20 ranked Florida, where they ain't gonna be 20 ranked anymore. But we needed to definitely get this win. Now, of course, you got Ole Miss coming up on the backside of this thing. But to be honest with you, man, this was a good win. Not perfect. You're missing Ricks. You're missing Stingley. You're missing all kind of damn people, to be honest with your family. You're missing a lot of people. But next man up mentality, and plus the pressure's on Coach O to keep winning these games. And there's various rumor reports coming out that settlements they know what the settlement number is going to be. And I don't know exactly if that's true or not right now. And I really don't, that's not none of my concern right now. I just want to be able to see this team win out. If they start winning out some games, and I know it's tough, but if LSU can package what they were doing in this matchup and bring this level of rushing attack into the next several contests, you never know how this thing can turn out. Because that's been the issue with LSU football, is that we have not consistently and, thoroughly run the football like we would want to. So if they can do that, and this was a hell of a performance, to be honest with you. You mean you take this guy, you take a guy like TD-Price, you give him the ball 36 times, he gets 287 yards, break Leonard Fournette's record that stood for several years, and then in the performance, in LSU only wins by 7 in the game because of the deep pad, these chunk play yardage we would give up. But listen, if we can somehow take a portion of this rushing attack of what they did, because a lot of what they were doing yesterday was something that they didn't do all season long. And you heard Coach O alluded to that in the press conference with that extra blocker. Hopefully we can package some of this stuff, switch it up, put some nuances in it, and kind of move this forward against other teams going down the pike. Now, we got Ole Miss that we got to face coming up real soon in next week's matchup. And then 2 weeks after that, we have the Crimson Tide, and then after them we have Arkansas. So we're in the meat and potatoes of the schedule right here. So we have to be able to, if there's going to be winning, we have to bring the running game with the running attack and play steadier defense. I'm not looking for LSU to be a lockdown defense, because it just seems like they're showing you a bit of their personality right now. Because we already, what is it now? We already 7 weeks into the season. The team is 4-3 right now. We're 7 weeks into this thing. And right now, what do you see? You see a team that was still at some point struggling with running the football prior to this matchup. Well, they did the previous week. They did okay. But up until the last couple of weeks, they've struggled running the ball effectively when we needed to. And, of course, defensively, they continue to give up the big play. Do I expect the team to shrink down and start locking people now? Absolutely not. I'm expecting them to be a very mistake-prone defense. At times, they'll get you off the field, and at times they be confused and allow shots down the field, deep shots, people looking at each other like, whose man was that? Durante's going to have to figure this shit out, man. He really is. He's going to have to figure out what they need to do to kind of keep the quick strike stuff from happening. At least the quick strike. If they walk you down the field and score, then that's one thing. But the quick strike stuff, they're going to have to figure that out. Because in the third quarter, they let Florida put up 22 points on them. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous that a team puts up 22 points on you in one quarter. And thanks to the one of the plays, which was the pick 6 by Flott, and of course, the 4 interceptions. Good thing LSU didn't turn the ball over where Florida did. And then the rushing attack led by TD-Price was instrumental in helping to assist to beat the Florida Gators, who a lot of people picked us to lose to the Gators. So in their face, 49-42, LSU gets the win. Next matchup will be against Ole Miss. So, man, we'll see how it all goes. Very tough, very tough. Brandon says that LSU's now 9-3 against Florida since 20. I love it. Anytime, and I've said this before, family, anytime that we can beat the Florida Gators, I don't hate them as much as I dislike, say, a team like Alabama. But anytime we can stick it to the Florida Gators and the Auburn Tigers, the fake Tigers, I'm really happy about that. I'm not going to tell you no lie, man. Anytime we can beat the smelly Gators, man, I love that. I absolutely love that. So let's move a little forward here, family, as we take a look at the matchup coming down the pipe next week. It'll be on CBS. Hopefully we don't get those any more half dead ass commentators. Man, my goodness, man, these half dead ass commentators. Anyway, all right, LSU going up to Oxford to take on the Ole Miss running Rebels. And this will be interesting because Ole Miss just coming off a win over Tennessee, who was feeling themselves, Tennessee football. They were feeling good. Ole Miss goes up, Ole Miss takes care of them, beats them yesterday. LSU gets a big win over Florida. So if we're 4-3 now, we're 2-2 in conference play, taking on the Ole Miss Rebels, who are ranked 13th. So we took down a 20th ranked club. Now here we go inside the top 15 against Ole Miss in their building. Now, Max Johnson, up to this point, his numbers are respectable. He is 149 of 243, 1863 is the yardage, and he has 20 touchdowns versus 4 interceptions. Very respectable numbers for Max Johnson. And, of course, their quarterback, Matt Corral, this guy is just all over the field, man. This guy is he does it all for him. 122 attempts out of 184. He has 1728 on the passing yards, and he has 14 touchdowns and 1 interception. He's a smaller quarterback, a compact quarterback, but boy, he can throw it and he can run it. TD Price is the top rusher for the LSU squad, 103 on the carries, 574 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. Matt Corral is their top rusher, 88 carries for 450 yards and 8 touchdowns. So Corral, we're going to have to corral his ass and keep him in check, because the reality is that everything flows through him. 1,728 passing yards for him. This guy has 14 touchdowns throwing and 8 touchdowns rushing. So it goes to show you where their offense is. And really, Lane Kiffin relies a lot on Matt Corral. And, of course, you see receiving, our top receiver is going to be Keyshawn Butte for a while. 38 catches for 509, 9 touchdowns as he went down. And, of course, for them, their top guy is Dontario Drummond, who has 28 catches for 526 yards and only 6 touchdowns. If you take a look at the points per game total, LSU through the season up to this point, averaging 32.4 yards per game while giving up 28.4 on the game. And, of course, you look at Ole Miss averaging almost 44 points per contest while giving up 30.2. 390 flat total yards by LSU offensively speaking, and Ole Miss 553 flat. That's a lot. 273 yards passing for LSU's offense, and they running at it 117.1. You look at what Ole Miss doing, 290 yards through the air passing, and on the ground they run at 263 yards. A lot of that's Corral mixing with their running backs, and they get it in. Defensively speaking, LSU's allowing just under 400 yards per game. That's really ridiculous. And through the secondary, you can hit them for 248. And then, of course, they'll allow you to rush for 152 yards per contest. That's ridiculous as well. Defense really needs to get those numbers down and play a little stiffer. Now, Ole Miss, look what they're doing, though. 436 yards, they give it up. So they do, from a statistical standpoint, you can have opportunities against Ole Miss. 240 is what they give up through the air, and they allow you to get at 196.3. That is ridiculous. They'll allow almost 200 yards rushing per contest on that sieve of a defense. So based on the numbers, and I've seen Ole Miss play, I think once or twice this season, everything flows through Corral. Bottom line, he is the end all be all. He throws the ball, and he's not a bad quarterback. He's actually a pretty decent quarterback, man. He's pretty accurate, and he's a lightning bug. So to wrangle him, he moves around a lot. So you said we're going to just keep him in the pocket and contain him. He can beat you from the pocket. He can beat you on the ground running. So he's a very elusive quarterback, and they're going to have to bring it, man. So it's up to Durande to be able to dial up a scheme and get some pressure and do what he needs to do to get these guys on the same page so that we can get this win against Ole Miss. But their defense will give you opportunities to score on them. So whether LSU can able to bring a semblance of it, hopefully at least 60 to 70% of the rushing attack that we exhibited against Florida in there against Ole Miss, we should have some success based on the fact that this team giving up almost 200 yards rushing per contest. Now, of course, they were stiffened a bit, but we still got to bring it, man. We need to bring that running attack into Oxford against Ole Miss to have a chance because they're an offensive juggernaut. Lane Kiffin got these guys playing well. They're flowing through Corral. He got a grasp of the system, and they're tough. And I look at the last 5 contests. They only lost 1 game over the last 5 as they are 5-1. And, of course, you see LSU losing to Auburn at 24-19. And then, of course, the UK game against Kentucky where they were just totally out of it, but then getting that win against them. So that was pretty good. But if you look at their last few wins against guys like you see Tulane there when they blew them off the map, and the only loss against Alabama was 42-21. They had a close one with Arkansas, which goes to show you we got them coming up 52-51. And, of course, they take care of business against Tennessee 31-26. So with that being said, there's opportunities for LSU to be able to get a win against this Ole Miss club. And to be honest with you, they can't lose any more games, to be honest with you. They're going to have to go into Oxford, and they're going to have to take it from Ole Miss. Now, that's respectable if you could beat a 20th-ranked Florida club and then beat a 13th-ranked Ole Miss team in their building. That'll be really respectable and kind of puts us on the right side, gets you a bye week there in between them and the Alabama contest. And then a lot of people say, well, Q, after that, man, it's going to be tough, period. It's going to be tough, period. All right, so Damien, what's up, fam? So, hey, Q, driving to Houston now, listening on the radio. He said, I most definitely need you watching on our Sunday's game. I'll be out for 2 months. Okay, thank you, bro. Thank you, brother Damien. Appreciate you, bro. Much love. And thanks to all the family members in the Tough Tiger Talk chat today. Much love to you guys. Appreciate you chiming in on the show. And listen, fam, it was a good one in this one as LSU was able to get the win against Florida, 49-42 behind a historic performance by TD Price, man. TD Price did it, man. He had a wonderful game, and it really shows. So next up, if we took care of Florida, family, Florida's down. The next one is Ole Miss coming up in this thing. We going to them. It'll be at 2:30, so we won't have quite the early game. It'll be an afternoon game, 2:30 time set for Oxford. Weather should be pretty good. I'm looking at the weather report there, saying that it should be good going into that thing. So we'll see what happens, man, on the flip side of it. So much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in the chat. Please feel free to like the show, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and join Tough Tiger Talk, keeping it real on LSU football as we move forward, man. Really good win. LSU now improves to 3-2 on the season, and now looking down at 5-1 Ole Miss. That's the next one up. Can LSU get that win? Absolutely. Ole Miss defense is, in certain aspects, the rushing attack is suspect. And with our rushing attack and the fact that they didn't turn the ball over today, they did allow some deep ball throws that were kind of head scratchy. But at the end of the day, LSU did not turn the ball over, and they ran the Florida Gators out of the building. So some positives to take in there. Hopefully that builds up that confidence there, man, as we move forward, because we most certainly need this rushing attack. With that being said, I'm going to holler at you guys later. Much love to you guys. Appreciate you joining the stream. And it's a victorious stream anyway. So much love, and I'm out. Go Tigers.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.